Hey yo, YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Hood Logic, and I'm back with another story from the hood. Today, I want to tell the story about the time I got charged with a shooting at the car wash across the street from one of my homies' cribs. Let's get into it. Before I get into this story, I just want to say that I don't tell these stories to try to glamorize street shit or to try to make it seem or sound cool. Really, I tell the story to hope that at least one person might hear it and help them see things before they happen, or to help people see other people for who they really are. So with that being said, let's get into it. So I don't know if I've said this before, but I grew up with me and my sister and my father full time, and we would go visit our mother on the weekend, and like our brothers and sister, right? So single black father, he was very strict, if you want to call it that, and we were just sheltered until like our mid teenage years. When I was like 15, she was probably 14, so yeah, she's a year younger than me. So we were sheltered up into that age. So when he finally gave us a little bit of freedom, we, for the most part, ran with it. And I really would take it to the furthest extreme that I could. There was an apartment complex that our father just always told us to stay away from for whatever reason. And as soon as we got the chance and the opportunity, that is right where we would run to. Right to the spot he told us not to go to. And at the same time, we meet a brother and a sister. He's 1 year older than me, and she's 1 year older than my sister. So pretty quickly, we all become friends, and we're hanging out every day, right? Now, their mother was like a sickly type woman who was always in and out of the hospital. And even when she was home, she was just like not really able or capable of controlling at least her son, because the daughter was pretty well balanced and well behaved. The brother was wild. So that's where we would hang out. And during the summer when there's no school, the mother be in the hospital or sick in her room, the father be at work or sleeping in the bedroom, and us as 14 through at the oldest 16 would have the house to ourselves. And there was always food and drinks and all this good stuff. So that's where we would spend our time at. So on this day, we're hanging out at the house. There's probably about 6 or 7 of us there, I would say. And one of them is my sister, another one is my cousin, and the rest of them are just random people from around the way, right? People that I kind of knew, but not too good, whatever. So we're hanging out at the house, and Felice decides it starts raining outside, and he decides that he wants to go ride bikes in the rain. So I'm like, hey, whatever. All right, sounds like fun. Let's go. So we go out for a few hours, 2-3 hours. We're riding around, causing little bits of mischief here and there, riding in the road, wheeling in the road, flipping cars off, throwing stuff at cars, whatever, talking shit to people, whatever. Nothing too serious. Eventually, we make our way back to his house. And when we get there now, the sister has a boyfriend, and he's there with 3 of his friends. 2 or 3 of his friends. So now there's like 10 of us at the house, give or take. I go in, change my clothes, he changes his clothes, and now we're out in the living room where everybody's at. And the first thing I notice is a gun laying on the table. And it piques my interest. Looking like a black Glock. So I walk over to the gun, pick it up, and something about it just didn't feel right. It felt real light. So I know at the time, like a little, very limited things I know about guns. But I know enough on how to get the clip out. And I go to find the button to release the clip, and there's no clip. And then I'm really looking at it, and the gun is a BB gun, pellet gun. I think it did both with the CO2 in it. So I look at it, whatever. I've seen them before. I put it down because we're in the living room, in the middle of the living room. Like instantly, I think about something bad happening and someone being shot because my friend, at least, is like one of those types of friends that's not really your friend. He'll fuck with you and like want to see you in fucked up positions or doing bad shit that could possibly jeopardize your freedom, right? That's the type of person he was. When I'm the opposite, if I call you my friend, like I want to see the best for you, for both of us, and really I might even look out for a friend more than I look out for myself then. Still to this day, somewhat, right? So, anyway, eventually somebody pulls out a bottle of alcohol and there's weed and everybody's smoking and drinking and carrying on, listening to music, whatever. I don't drink. I didn't drink then, and I still don't really drink now. I won't say that I don't drink, but it's very rare occasion that I'll pick up an alcoholic beverage. And yeah, so eventually all of us make our way up to Felice's house to go smoke. Because as free of a house as it was, we couldn't just smoke and blow up the whole house. Like his father would have came home, had a problem. So we go up to Felice's house to go smoke. I mean, up to Felice's room to go smoke. And I keep saying his name, but whatever. So we're all up there, music's playing, and just to throw it out there, like I was on some street shit, like the way I dressed, like the typical street outfit, that's how I dressed. He was the complete opposite. He was like a Slipknot, Korn listening, helicopter pants or parachute pants, whatever you call them, big ass skateboarding pants. Like he was one of them weirdos. So we're up there and he's playing that weird ass music. I mean, to me it was weird. I have never listened to it like that, but he's playing that. And we're all sitting by the window smoking through the window. And the kid with the pellet gun, he has it down his pants like it's a real gun. And it must be like jamming into his hip, so he pulls it out, puts it on the table. He puts it on the table, I pick it up. And he's like, yo, chill. And I'm like, man. And I point the gun out the window because the window's open, no screen, no blinds. And I'm shooting it out the window, like into the fence, into the ground, whatever, right in the backyard. And like me being me, I always got to take it one step further. From his window, you could see the car wash. Very well known, if you could call a car wash that. Like the car wash that everyone goes to, especially nowadays. And you could see all the bays of the car wash from his bedroom window, and then you see the area where like the vending machines would be at, like to get air fresheners, tire shine, change, stuff like that. Me being me and needing to take it one step further, I start shooting the pellet gun at the vending machine area. And since it's a pellet gun and we're so far away, you pull the trigger and it take a couple seconds for the pellet to hit the wall. There was like a little bit of a lag. So whatever, I shoot it a few times the whole time. Nobody's in the area. I get tired of it. I turn back around. I focus back in on the group. And I put the pellet gun down. Felice has been drinking now. He's been smoking now. He pulls out the pellet gun. and he starts shooting it out the window, but I'm not focused on him. I think, no, my girlfriend wasn't there. But I was focused on something that wasn't what he was doing. Like, that was old news now, you know? And eventually, he makes a quick movement, and I look up at him, and he's like, oh, shit. Like, got a crazy look on his face. And I don't ask what happened. At the time, going through my mind, I'm figuring maybe someone at the car wash saw him shooting the pellet gun and he put it away. You know what I mean? Because if he would have said something if someone got shot, right? That's what I'm thinking, right? I'm not even thinking nobody got shot. Nothing like that. He turns around, puts the gun down, whatever. Eventually we all forget about it and go on with the day. Still raining outside. It's actually like pouring out. We eventually make our way back downstairs, and we're like in the dining room, kitchen area. We're in the kitchen or dining room, yeah. And there's a knock at the door, and I look at Felice. No thoughts going through my mind other than like, who's knocking at the door? Nobody knocks on the door. If a friend comes over, they just walk right in, like, or they would come to the window where we're at and get our attention, like, you know. So his sister goes to the door and says, Lamar, the police are here and they want to talk to you. And I'm like, hold up, how the fuck? This ain't my house. I'm not tied to this house at all. How are the police asking for me at your door? That's kind of crazy. And instantly I start running back that whole time we were riding bikes. Like, what did we do while we were riding bikes that got the police looking for us? And I couldn't come up with anything. But still, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to talk to no cops. So his sister and my sister, they go to the door together. And they let the police officer in the house. And there's all sorts of kids in the house. It's looking crazy. 2 cops with about 10 kids. And before I forget, the sister's boyfriend who came there with 2 or 3 friends, they dipped. As soon as they heard police, they got the fuck out of there. I thought they got out of there. They wound up hiding in the house, like under furniture and shit, and never being found. But they got out of there. And somebody asked, like, what's going on? And they say somebody was shot 30 minutes, an hour ago over at the car wash. And they said that the shots came from this house. And my sister, which is maybe like 5-7 feet away from me, looks at me. She's been drinking, I'm pretty sure. She wasn't in her right mind, but we were also young. Looks at me and says, Lamar, why would you do that? And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? In my mind, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I didn't do shit. I didn't shoot nobody. And the police yoked me up, cuffed me. We got our shooter. We got the shooter. And I'm like, yo, well, they got this shit all wrong, but whatever. I'm all by myself in the back of the cop car. The cop comes out, speaks to me for a second. He's like, you might as well just tell us what you did. Because we already know what you did. The guy saw you do it. And I'm like, officer, I did not shoot nobody. And he says, the guy who you shot, he's in surgery and he might not make it. And he's a lawyer, so they're gonna take his word over yours any day out the week. And I'm just like, I'm not admitting to it. 30 minutes goes by. Eventually they bring out my friend and put him in the back of the cop car with me. And thinking back now, they probably figured we were going to start talking about whatever happened. But I swear on everything, I didn't shoot the guy. And I had no idea. I didn't know Felice did. I mean, now at this point, I know he did it, but like I didn't see him do it. He didn't tell me he did it, and we're the type of friends that we'll do some dumb shit like that and like brag about it to each other. Like, guess what I did? You know what I mean? So they put us in the cop car together and they clear the whole house out. So now it's back to 7 children in the house, 7 teenagers in the house, because the sister's boyfriend and friends are all gone. They're hidden. So they bring all of us down to the police station, and they got us all separated in different rooms. And these kids, the kids that came over there with the boyfriend, I did not know them, their names at all. Even if I wanted to tell, I did not know their names. And the boyfriend, I really didn't know him neither like that to tell who he was. So they're questioning us. I didn't know them, but my cousin knew them. My sister probably knew them by name, and some of the other ones. My friend's sister knew them. So I didn't. Eventually, I'm hearing the boyfriend's name, which now it's like familiar to me. I'm like, oh shit, that is, like, you know what I mean? While I'm sitting in the room, because they all got us. There's a lot of us, and they got us all separated in different rooms, but we're all like at the end of a hallway, and all the rooms are right next to each other. We could stand at the door and like yell to each other. So it's kind of blurry what happened in there. Like, I didn't really get questioned anymore after that. And they brought me alone into a whole nother room, a whole separate part of the police station. Like, I thought I was going to jail for sure. But I don't know this to be true, but I'm imagining that one of the females that were there that knew these people's names, these kids' names, knew the boyfriend's name at least, told the police who the boyfriend was. So now they know who he was. They go to his house and they say they found a bunch of pellets outside of his door. Like, he was rushing inside to hide the pellets and spilled them all over the rug and just never picked them up, right? So eventually they wind up calling my father. We give him my father's number. He comes to pick us up, and I'm trying to remember like whatever happened at the outcome of these charges, but because I had charges originally, I'm pretty sure, and I really can't remember the outcome, like how they went away. But shortly after that, I did end up getting sentenced to juvenile detention, and I was gone for 2 years about. So they could have tied all this shit together possibly, but anyway. My father comes to pick us up, and now it's nighttime, it's the middle of the night. As we're walking out, I don't know if the police did this on purpose or what, but as we're walking out of the police station, I'm walking with my father. The kid who's the shooter, which I'll say his name now because, or no, he wasn't the shooter, but the kid whose gun it was, the sister's boyfriend, his name was Naquan. He's dead now. And he actually got murdered over that girl who was his girlfriend. She broke up with him, started dating another person somewhat related to this friend group, and they must have been beefing back and forth over that. He wound up shooting and killing him, getting caught, going to prison, 25 life, and just in the past 5-7 years getting murdered himself in prison. So this is the type of shit that be going on, right? So anyway, we're walking out, he's walking in, and since I really don't know because I never talked to him again, but since he's seen us leaving and him coming, he must have figured that I told on him. And I swear on everything, God could strike me dead. God could take my left eye right now. I did not tell them anything about Naquan because I knew that he wasn't the shooter. I knew he wasn't even in the room when the shooting was going on. He was like in the room with his girlfriend trying to probably, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't around, so me telling the police anything about him wouldn't have done nothing for me, right? He must have thought that I told on him, and honestly, that right there at whatever it was, 14, 15 years old, really sparked something in my life. And basically, like, now I got beef every time I go outside. Now I got to worry about fighting and what streets I can go to, what streets I should avoid, carrying a weapon when I go to certain places. So really, this whole situation is what flipped that switch for me and really got me into the streets, got me joining my first gang, got me into my first, like, what do you want to call it, gang fight, rumble, you know what I mean, where not just a fist fight where people got weapons and swinging sticks and got knives and shit like that. So this guy's bugging the fuck out. 2 feet away from the hood of my car, I'll fuck his ugly ass up. So let me stop. So yeah, that really sparked something in my life. And really, if we would have just listened from the beginning and stayed out of that apartment complex, I probably never would have became friends. We probably never would have became friends with that group, with that brother and sister. That whole situation never would have happened. Yeah, it just sparked a lot of bullshit for me. And yeah, it's too bad, but it is what it is. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So, anyway, yeah, that's that story. Is there anything else to add to that story? Not really. I could get into it at another time about me joining that first gang and what that couple years was like and what we ended up going through between my group of friends and his group of friends. What type of drama it brought, and even stemming further from that, what really got me really deep in the street. Because at this time, I mean, I guess if you're going to be in the street, you're going to jump in right at that age. 14, 15, 16. And to me, once you're 17, like, you're kind of late. You're a late bloomer. Like, you already been left. It's already too late. You might as well just stay in school at that point. But now, it's the reverse of that. I wish for me being a loser, or not a loser, but like being a dork and paying attention in school and getting good grades in school and being a good student and shit like that. Because all that is what really mattered. It didn't matter who thought you were cool or what girls liked you or who was afraid of you, or, you know what I mean? None of that shit don't get you nowhere. None of that shit didn't get me nowhere. Yeah, it don't get you nowhere. But fucking shot, locked up, you know what I mean? Dead. That's where it'll get you. Or you thought people that were paying attention in school and doing good in school and doing their homework and playing sports and shit like that, you thought they were losers and you thought they were dorks. Now, you know what I mean? Come on. Anyway, that's my story for the day. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment, like, share, subscribe, you know, all that good YouTube shit. I'll get at you next time. I'm out. Peace.